um, in every page 20 Pokemon. So by that we have to use Spring Boot Java in order to create a REST API. So what I'm showing now, it's the backend project that's actually a Spring Boot application. Uh, this is the code for the controller of the application. This is the home controller public class, and here actually the get method, the HTTP get method, and this is the path where it's gonna respond to, and here we declare all the parameters. Here we just have one parameter, that is a string of, that is actually being used uh, to get an offset of the list of Pokemon. So if you want to get the first 20 Pokemon, so the offset's got to be 0. If you want to get the other 20, so from the 20th to the 40th, so the offset's got to be 20 in order to work. So that's how this REST API works. You would see the debug console here. This server is already launched and it's in my port 8080. So in order to to deploy it, to know if this is working, we're gonna use Postman in order to connect, outside from Java. So we get here the local host. So we're gonna, if we send no parameter, so if the off parameter it's equals to 0 or is not sent, the REST API will be by default will be a 0. The offset will be 0, so we will get the 20 very first Pokemon. So we are now sending a GET request to our server. So we should now expect this JSON, that it's actually an object. So it's a list or an array of Pokemon objects. So we got from the first one, that's Bulbasaur, to the 20th, that would be Raticate. Because we send no offset. However, if we actually send an offset parameter, let's see, 20, that would give us from the 21st to the 40th Pokemon the JSON, the list of classes, Pokemon classes. So as you can see here, he recognizes now that I'm sending a parameter that it's off, and as you can see, the very first is the 21st, that it's Spearow, and we will go down to the 40th, that will be Jigglypuff. We can, I don't know, offset from a high number, let's say 100. So if we send this 100, we will get from the 100 to the 120. Let's see. There you go. We got 120. That would be stereo. As you can see, the Pokemon class has main values as ID, type, height, weight, and order. So those are the values that we are going to display in our web app. So that was the backend. So if we go to the front end, I designed the front end in a Flask application that it runs in Python. So as you can see here, I'm actually connecting my application, my web application, to my local host 8080 in my port 8080. That is where my Spring Boot server is running. So I'm sending the server the offset part in order to get 20 Pokemons with whatever offset I want to, and then I just display this on a HTML file. So if we go to my terminal, I see that my Flask application is running on this URL. So just going to open it. Let's wait a little bit. Okay, so it's now opening my application. So let's wait till. Okay, there you go. Now it's charging, so it will take a little bit of moment, and there you go. So we have my main app that it's written, developed in Flask, and it's actually because it's the main entry point. We have no parameter as well here, so it will give us the first 20 Pokemons. If I click on next, it will fetch the other 20. So we will have from the 21st to the 40 and so on. We can go forward, or we can go backwards. And that's the web app. We want to go backwards, we just click on back and we will go to the 20th Pokemon, as you can see. And also, if I want to go to the very first, that's Bulbasaur, I just can click on Pokemon, and it will redirect me, okay, to the very first, showing the basic stats here, and that's all the project. If you got any questions, please let me know.